Hi, everyone. I'm Yiannis Gavrielides, and I'm a co-founder at Covve. And today we're here at Reflect, helping all of you connect with each other. We want you to connect, meet, build relationships, and then hopefully open opportunities. Now, this thesis of actually creating connections and making them meaningful and opening opportunities is a mission for us in Covve. That's what we do. We help professionals and people build relationships and not transact. Invest in them to build opportunities. And we do this through technology. Technology through our badges, technology through our digital cards, and technology through our personal CRM that helps you follow up with people, not lose touch, and build a relationship. So technology and software, which is everywhere around us. We're in a technology conference. And to borrow the words of Andreessen Horowitz here, as he said, software is eating the world. Now, I'm here today to discuss whether it's also eating into our social norms. I'm here to ask whether it's actually disrupting our social fabric. Now, in a study that took place before the pandemic, 3 in every 5 people in the US reported feeling lonely. Now, that study was updated after the pandemic, and no surprises there. That percentage is still there. It's a bit better in Europe, but it's getting increasingly worse. Now, this is not a statistic to take lightly. Loneliness has been shown to affect both physical and mental health. And actually, it's having an impact in our physiology. There are medical issues that are showing prevalence in lonely people. Sleep disorders, weight problems and complications, substance use, neurological disorders, and even kidney problems. And I ask this, how can we be so lonely in such a hyper-connected world? Could it be that we have actually redefined what we consider social? I'll take you back to the early 2000s. Early 2000s, there was a proliferation of social media. We were all excited, connecting with friends, sharing moments. It was a very exciting time. And that obviously, because it was, most of you here have felt it, it was a time where there was a rapid proliferation of social media, to the point that today, 4.5 billion people are using social media. Now, that's not what I want to stress, though. I want to stress the rapid increase that happened there and how that has created new norms. For example, likes and follows became accomplishments. And that came to define our digital identity online. It came to define our social cloud. So in defining our social cloud, it pushed us further into the screens, away from the physical world, because every one of us here is trying to build a social reputation, a social identity. So it has changed the way we behave, and it has created a new social experience, an experience that has changed our world today, an experience where 42 million follows and 3.8 million likes and 140,000 comments feels lonely. And this is affecting the newer generations. Like 1 in every 5 Gen Z, and that's Gen Zs, that's the people born between 1997 and 2012, spend 20% of their time on social media. And this is an effect we see all over the world. We can see here, like in Europe and in the States, that's more than 3 hours a day spent on social media. And of course, this is changing the way that we are behaving. I mean, we consider it a personal interaction, the fact that we are looking at someone's picture at the beach or watching a video, and we have no idea what's going on in their head. But we are lazily tapping to congratulate someone for an experience as important as changing a job, something that's changing the life. So we are actually fueling a totally different behavior, and it's affecting younger generations, and it's having an effect on them. Younger adults are twice more likely to feel lonely. Now, I'm not here to get everyone down. I mean, it's a bright day. And so I'm going to change mood. And I'm going to say that technology, although not a substitute, is a great enabler for connections. And technology came to our rescue during the pandemic. Technology brought our families together. It brought my family together. Like my parents, actually, they don't expect this, but they're sitting right there. They got to speak with their grandchildren over video during the pandemic, and they are much closer to them every day due to technology. We are sharing pictures, we're sharing videos. It's there actually creating real relationships. It's there to enable real relationships. And it has had an effect on our families. It did have a big effect on our jobs as well, in work. I mean, we saw technology rushing quickly to fill a gap when we're in lockdowns. We saw technologies like Zoom create very efficient video calling, technologies like Hopin to host events. We saw technologies like GatherTown here creating interactive offices, and it worked. I mean, we had a triple in the US. There was a threefold increase in people working remotely, from 6% to nearly 18%. In Europe, that was even bigger, from 5% to 20%, fourfold increase. And actually, it started changing the way that we approach work. We started realizing that there's a work-life balance. I get to work sometimes from home and see and eat lunch with my kids. We couldn't do this before. And this, of course, has led to people not wanting to go back to work. And it's interesting because now, this is like the figures I mentioned were for 2021. 2022 has been a year where people went back to work. And the figures are different. The remote working is double what it used to be after pandemic, because we need a better excuse to go back to work. Now, there was an analysis report launched by Microsoft last month that said that 73%, they say that they need a better reason than company expectations. That's not good enough anymore. And they said they would be motivated to go back to work, to rebuild team bonds, to socialize with coworkers. They would go to work more frequently if they knew their work friends would be there, if they knew that their direct team members would be there. We want personal interactions. They fuel our creativity. They solve problems at the coffee station. Before I did the speech, I spoke to a few friends of mine, asking them what's the actual work policy, if they're bringing people back to the office. And a friend of mine who works in a large legal firm said, we're bringing everyone back to the office. When I asked why, I said, I'm not going to list the reasons. I'm going to mention one incident that happened last week. He said, I was passing through the office of one of my partners, and she was crying. And then we had to solve an HR problem. We had to give her space. It's a simple, common sense situation that would not be possible if he was remote working. I asked a friend of mine who is a shipbroker. I said, could you do it remote? He said, no. People trust me because we share drinks and food, and we build relationships over common passions. We need personal relationships in our work, but we do need them more in our life. Now, in one of the longest studies on happiness, that's the Harvard study of adult development. That's an 80-year-old study. Dr. Waldinger said, personal connection creates mental and emotional stimulation, which are automatic mood boosters, while isolation is a mood buster. So we need personal connections to be happy. Now, we're promised personal connections are being promised to us in the metaverse. Like 1 year ago, Mark Zuckerberg said, the metaverse will be characterized by social presence. The feeling that you're right there with another person, no matter where in the world you happen to be. That was the promise. And actually, we ran our own research this year that said that 60% believe that the metaverse will improve the ways in which we communicate. Nearly 40% believe that they will be able to trust people they meet in the metaverse. And nearly half of them believe that body language will be simulated successfully through avatars in the metaverse. Now, in a tweet that Mark Zuckerberg did in August, showed that we're still a bit far away from that. And in another actually presentation that happened last week, he proved that legs are not the actual solution to the problem. But technology will catch up, for sure. But I ask you, how can we build trust in an anonymous world? And actually, technologists are working on it. There was a white paper published in May, co-written by the co-founder of Ethereum, saying that the answer to that is soul-bound tokens, or SBTs. Now, SBTs are non-fungible, like NFTs are, but they're also non-transferable, so they are bound to one entity, to one person. They are designed to hold things like our medical records, our academic credentials, our character traits, our experiences. They're designed to create a verifiable digital reputation that is based on our past experiences and actions. Of course, that's something that holds a lot of debate. But they're actually due to launch in 2024. And today, we're at Reflect, and we're here body and soul in person. So let's all meet together, have a drink outside, and clink our glasses while we still can. Thank you.